the town of France. I forget what the name it is, but it's in that book anyhow. And I went in there, and we were supposed to have a 2-week break because nobody had any rest. And as soon as we got there, we got a couple, some replacements come in, and before you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, on the way to the Battle of the Balls. Mm-hmm. We had no rest right away. So, Battle of the Balls, I got into a World War I tank, real skinny little thing. I don't know what the hell to do with that. I said, I can't do nothing on there. I just laid on top. And as the tank went through, they never bothered us. But the other tanks went this way, and we went left. They went right. And the ones that went down right, they got hurt pretty bad. You know, the Germans were ready for them. They weren't ready for that's where the Germans were moving in and out where I was going up there, so they didn't shoot. They never shot me once. Yeah. And then after that again, jump the trucks and take off for Germany. Big cities down there, we took some of them, but the fighting was a lot easier than in France. The Germans were wanted to destroy you too much. The smart ones would leave.
Tell them about how you saved Luxembourg from the Germans.
Luxembourg?
Battle of
Yeah, did you have a battle in Luxembourg?
The Balls.
You had all those
I was on a tank, yeah.
All those trees came down?
And that, as we were going around this way, there were fewer Germans on this side. All the Germans were down on the other side. I wasn't with that group. That was my company, but they had a different tank, and they went around that way. I come up this way. I must have shot about 40, 50 of them.
Wow.
They were all standing there. They weren't giving up. They were shooting. Yeah, I could tell all my weapons, all my bullets were gone. And nothing. That time I was really scared. But then they finally got him. And then when the Battle of the Balls was over, it was so cold. Everything was frozen. And all those dead soldiers were on the ground, stiff as boards. And we hauled them in they had what they call grave registration. That was their job, picking up bodies. Well, there were so many bodies there, we had to stay to help. And, excuse me, and we come back, we start to haul the dead German soldiers up on the big trucks. And as the trucks were getting too full, the guys on top of the truck would bounce on top of the guys to smash them down a little bit so we could put more soldiers on. That's what they were doing up there. That was a whole day's work. And I'll tell you guys, those guys were so stiff. It took 2 guys to throw them, one by the leg, one by the head. They were so stiff, just threw like a plank on top. It was just like that. Then after that was done, we took off into Germany, and we went down to a little city. I forget what the name of it was. I don't know, it was a little city. All smashed up, nothing left. Everything was smashed up. So we just walked right through that town. And so most of that in Germany was just taking cities. That's all. I got the artillery in there, shot a little bit, and then moved in. We didn't have too many casualties that way. Most of the casualties were in France.
Didn't you knock down trees so the Germans couldn't get in? Didn't you knock down some trees so the Germans couldn't get in?
That was in Luxembourg.
Right, that's the story we want to hear.
That's what it was. That's a good one right there.
Yeah, tell us about that.
See, there's a street coming into Luxembourg, and the Germans were ahead of us. They didn't, we were just moving in, and I didn't have hardly any guys with me. but I had that explosive, what they call M1, big yellow bulb like this, like putty, and you smash it against a tree or any object you want, pull a wire down and pull the trigger, and it explodes and knocks things down. I only had 3 bulbs, and the trees were pretty close. Boy, was I getting a lot of mortar shells fired at me. Not one hit me. And then I got those 3 of them. All trees were wired up. I took off way back there. Mortar shells were coming after me and everything. I just lay there. As soon as it got a little quiet, I pushed my switches, and the trees went down. Right across the road. I did a hell of a good job. And then the Germans turned around real quick and left, never come back. I saved Luxembourg. I saved them. And then what happened? How the heck was that? Oh yeah, they come up there to interview me, how I managed all that by myself. That was behind me. They were firing, but they're doing no damage to the tanks because the tanks weren't hit with bullets. They were protected. And they wrote up a story for me. And somehow General Patton didn't like me. This was after I got my uniform back, the old new one. And somehow he didn't like me. He put down on the board, request a better story on Sergeant Glavan. And we got that better story, but nobody did anything else. And I didn't get, I was supposed to get a medal for that. And you get no medal or nothing. Damn, Patton must have been mad at me. Yeah. And another thing, we had to get our own water. There's no water nowhere. You had to go in a stream or any place you see some water. They gave us chlorine tablets, little tablets. And if you have a real muddy water, you put 2 tablets in your little bottle. If it's clear, you only use 1 tablet. I was using that kind of water for 62 days. Yeah. Like I said, never got sick. Never got sick. I didn't get sick until after I come into New York. But when we come home, we get on the ship. It's a Swedish liner. We loaded up. This was in the middle of oh yeah, around my birthday. But we were in a boat about this time of the year, just like it is now. And a hurricane came. And the boat was tipping way over. We were headed for New York, and the boat was tipping way over like this. And the captain yelled at us, port side, port side. Everybody run to the other side. And the ship was still tipping. I was that far off the water. That's how far that ship went down. And he says to us, he says, not helping, not helping. He said, we're going to have to go right into the storm. We went right into the storm, and the ship was getting flooded, you know, and the front end was tipped way up, and the water was going over us and all that. And believe it or not, nobody didn't lose a life. The ship, the guys saved the ship, and when we got into New York, well, that's right, he said he was calling for help, but everybody said they can't get in there, which is true. How are you going to go through a storm to get to you? We got in New York, boy, what a big party. Oh boy, and you know what? I ended up with a hell of a big cold. That's the first cold I had through all that combat and everything, the whole war. And I got a cold there. And a couple of people got me, took me to a beer garden, drinking beer. I just drank as much beer as they could give me. And finally had to go back. They took me to my camp where I was supposed to stay. I lay down in there, and that's what, then the war was over, you know, for us. But I had a lot of German souvenirs in my packages, especially when I was in New Jersey.